How China contributes to the international system. For quite some time, China has been at the forefront of any discussion revolving around the international system in regards to power, the economy, and the military. In the past, China has been a top investor in international trade and continues to play a large role. They seem to be striving to increase their power over the global economy and to strengthen their military. Their tendency to make bold decisions and quickly take action have been a source of intimidation for many other countries, but it cannot be denied that they have had major contributions to the international system. The early dynamics of China's contributions to the international system set the pace for what has to come. A series of actions that would make a global impact. In 2005, China invested 56 billion in oil, platinum, copper, nickel, and magnesium in Africa. This investment alone would stimulate and improve the African economy greatly and open up doors for future investments and trade. Overall trade between Africa and China rose from 10 billion in 2000 to 125 billion in 2010 and then hit an astonishing 300 billion in 2015. This increase means that China has surpassed to the United States and is now the largest trading partner for Africa. Africa is not the only continent that has been benefited from China's economic strength. Latin America says that a 1,500% increase in loans and direct foreign investments in China just between the year 2000 and 2010. China has also reminded a top winner against Iran purchasing 400,000 barrels of oil per day, all purchased with the yuan in order to elevate the global standing of the yuan against the US dollar. China has continued this trend into more recent years and has been a leading influencer in rebalancing the global economy. China has started to rebalance the global economy by moving towards a domestic led growth model and working to make G20 a successful forum. They have taken a more creative approach to the global economic and seem to have a fair, more futuristic approach than other global powers. They have a tendency to act quickly as they are always anticipating what is to come. For example, in 2008, the United States, along with the International Monetary Fund, asked that all nations enact strong stimulus measures to counteract the imminent global economic downturn. China responded to this call to action immediately with a 586 billion stimulus package, which represented roughly 3.2% of the GDP. This was the largest contribution of any country, and China openly discussed their stimulus plans with other countries involved. Global participation. This was not the only instance of China's actively participating in the global economy and complying with the rules in a way that benefits their own economy as well. In 2001, China entered the World Trade Organization as well as the other international economic institutions, including IMF, the World Bank, and the World Intellectual Property Organization. They were also recently admitted to the Financial Stability Board that serves as a coordinator for different national entities that contribute to financial stability. It is these ways that China has contributed to the global economy and remained a force to reckon with. China has also maintained its status as a strong military power throughout the years, and its economic power contributes to this. China has played a key role in nuclear non-proliferation negotiations and has taken part in communications with Iran and North Korea. They have pushed to enact and strengthen the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty as well as the Non Proliferation Treaty and the Fissile Material Cutoff Treaty. With nuclear proliferation being a significant international threat, it is necessary that the global strong houses be prepared. As more and more global powers pursue nuclear programs, the chances of an accident or attack are increasing. In response to this, China has developed a system of export controls intended to gain compliance with other countries. They have also created export control regimens that maintain control over and monitor banned exports. In addition to taking their own measures, Johnston says that the country has also engaged in several non proliferation deals with the United States. Their military and power efforts do not end here. China has also been a leader in the pandemic prevention efforts and has pressed for reform in the World Health Organization to produce more effective vaccines. In order to bring attention to their issues, they hosted the International Pledging Conference on Avian and Human Pandemic Influence in 2006. This conference had over 100 attendees and raised pledges of 1.9 billion to combat the virus, research adequate vaccinations. Feinberg, as well as Cox, also added that China was also responsible for the first ever meeting of health ministers from the Association of Southeast Asian Networks. The goal of this meeting was to work with members to coordinate preventative strategies and to find effective vaccinations. These actions have brought worldwide praise to the country for being a proactive and taking steps to ensure that the world have access to adequate health care. Coal consumption. Unfortunately, China's widespread growth has been accompanied by some negative implications. China's emissions have grown rapidly over the past few decades, and they are the world's largest consumer of the coal, which amounts for 70% of its total energy consumption. Just from 1990 to 2007, their carbon emission grew by 80%, and the country is well aware of this growth. In hopes of reducing its energy consumption and carbon emission, they have attempted to increase their renewable energy.